G'day everyone and welcome to my coverage of the Latrobe Valley Model Railway Association's 2022 Morwell Exhibition held at the Kernoit Hall, Morwell. Morwell is located about 2 hours east of Melbourne and is pretty easy to get to via road or rail. One of the very interesting things in the area is the Lawn Power Station. Now this exhibition had about 20 or so traders and layouts. Moe. This layout is based on the old Walhalla narrow gauge railway and its broad gauge exchange Moe. They chose a 30-year time span because it marks the closure of Walhalla section in 1942 to the gradual decline of the entire Walhalla to Moe narrow gauge system by 1972. Only a single broad gauge line served to Moe station, and this is how it remains today. They aim to present a series of railway scenes and operations typical of the period and in this region of Victoria. Structures and scenery are mostly freelance and serve to provide a suitable backdrop for the motive power and rolling stock selected for this exhibition. They made use of the Victorian Railways track plan for Moe in 1946. Structures such as goods sheds, engine sheds, station buildings date back to the 1900s and were either built or demolished by the end of the 70s. This layout has also seen the addition of another 2 layouts added onto it to create, I guess, 2 different scenes. And you also do see some more modern rolling stock and equipment running, as well as some international ones.
You do some good work. I like your video.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Amity Point. This layout is loosely based on the 1975 film Jaws. Amity Point is the main harbour on Amity Island, originally a whaling station that has long since closed. The town and small railway relies on tourist season dollars to survive. Because it is run on a shoestring budget, all the rolling stock is second-hand, bought from other railways, most of which have not been repainted, because that was too expensive. A few boats still operate fishing charters for those willing to go out in the deep reefs after big game fish. But the future is looking bright for Amity, as there is some new money that has recently been injected into the local economy, with new jobs created by the construction that is in progress of a new resort, and plans for redevelopment of the old eyesore that is the abandoned whaling station building. Next to the Amity layout was Monteroo, a freelance layout that is based on the lower slopes in the French Alps using the 3-rail system. The layout is still a work in progress and represents what modellers can create in the 6-week stage of modelling a new layout. Set in the base of the Alps, just on the French side of the Swiss border, you'll see an array of European stock using the line, including some tourist and passenger trains. The largest layout at the exhibition was Tybrook. This Victorian Railways layout based in the 1940s to the 1970s, showing what life was like back in the day. This layout had excellent detail and the nice frequency of constantly running trains.
Yeah, you're all sweet. You're all good. Yeah. We'll get around to it. There'll be 3 all up. And I went to the club last night. So we had a running session last night and we were there till about 11:30, I think. So I had to get home from there. Because SDS and stuff were in town, and then Hobson's Bay came out, turned up, and a couple of the other clubs.
Katsura Valley. This is an N-scale layout depicting scenes from Japan. It represents many of the small railways that operate in larger cities and in rural areas. The fictitious railway is a line that runs through the countryside based on certain areas in Japan. Passengers are carried in small trains and freight is no longer carried. The famed bullet trains of Japan have not reached this locality just yet. The layout includes a temple scene, Japanese castle, and some Japanese urban and country settings. Information about these various scenes, buildings, and trains are also displayed with the layout. Making its debut at this exhibition is Yorkie's Crossing, a representation of a real place about 10 kilometres from Port Augusta. This is part of the Trans-Australian Railway between Kalgoorlie and Port Augusta. Alex has tried to create a sense of the vast red rocky Central Australian desert, the spinifex, the saltbush and a huge variety of desert springtime plant life. The Gibber Desert, animals and ancient rock formations, as well as some palm trees for a bit of fun. Painted styrofoam and real Gibber stone souvenirs while Alex and family toured Central Australia. It's not finished and they said that they will extend it. The Valley by the Latrobe Valley Model Railway Association. This is a vibrant European style layout with a busy town in the foothills of the Alps. Trains can be seen running on 2 levels with buses and trucks running through the town streets. You'll see all types of European locos and rolling stock here, and sometimes other prototypes as well. As well as that, Eddington Quay, which is a 7mm narrow gauge layout, was also in attendance. And lastly, the bridge man, Brian Moore from New South Wales, who brought a selection of handmade timber trestle bridges varying from N to O scale. These bridges have been constructed from all timber obtained from the scrap bin. In terms of train stands, you had Walhalla Goldfields Railway, Train World, some pre-loved trains, Hobbies Plus from Stratford, and Bernie's pre-loved trains. So there we go, that was the exhibition. Now normally this is a biannual exhibition, although there were a lot of murmurs floating around on the day that this could possibly become an annual one. I guess we'll just wait and see. If you are interested in keeping up to date with all the model railway exhibitions that are happening throughout Australia, don't forget to check out my monthly model railway news, which does cover exhibition updates. I'd say my standout layout for the exhibition was Tybrook. Really beautiful Victorian Railways era layout. I just think it would have been a little bit nicer if it had a bit more operation to it. Unfortunately, the back of the layout, which has another station and yard, was pressed almost up against the stage. But apart from that, it was really, really nice to see and a really beautiful piece of work. What was your favorite? If you had a standout that you went and saw, or whether you saw it in this video, leave it in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. If you are interested in joining the Latrobe Valley Model Railway Association, they meet in Moe on Saturday, Sunday and on a Tuesday, with more information on their website and Facebook page. Anyway, I'll be back with plenty more exhibition videos in the future, so be sure to be subscribed so you don't miss out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hooroo.